Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Ami Izzat bin Muhammad Haidi and I'm from class M380-110-2B and my matrix number is 2021-880224. So today I'm going to share a little bit about basic good agricultural or agronomic practices of oil palm. So the first practice that I chose is manuring. Manuring or manure, also known as fertilizer, it is an organic material that usually consists of the feces and urine of domestic livestock, with or without accompanying litter such as straws, hay, or bedding. It is used to fertilize the land and improve the soil quality. There are three types of manure, which are green manure, farmyard manure, and compost manure. For the livestock manure, it is rich in nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. It is also rich in organic matter and humus. It is also valuable, renewable sources, and does not cause any pollution, and it is better if used in the long run. So there are two ways to carry it out. The first method is manual application. For this method, it takes a whole lot of manpower since it doesn't use any machines or machinery. It is minimalist, cost-effective, eco-friendly, but less productive. For this method, the manure or fertilizer can be sprayed to the land using only bare hands with gloves or using manual forks and shovels. Farmers can also use manual fertilizer spreader, backpack fertilizer spreader, and cut manure spreader. And for the mechanical application, this method involves the use of machines and machinery, but it is still operated by minimal number of workers. It is more efficient, higher rate of productivity, and save lots of time. But it is quite costly and may be harmful to the environment. Among machines and machinery that commonly used are mechanical buffalo, mechanical manure spreader, and manual injector. Those machines are able to fertilize wide area of land at one time compared to the manual method. Okay, next, let's look at the benefits of manuring. So first of all, it can improve the soil fertility, where it will provide sufficient nutrient, both macro and micronutrients for the growth of oil palm tree. And then it will also improve the water holding capacity, and it will enrich the soil within the oil palm tree. And then it will also produce healthy oil palm crops, thus it will maximize the oil palm yield. So the second practice that I chose is weeding. Weed refers to the wild plants that grow in between crops, and the process of removing those unwanted plants are called weeding. Weeding process should be done from time to time as required, otherwise they will compete with the oil palm crops for nutrients and other necessities. Weeds also will attract pests, pathogens, and insects, which will attack the oil palm. Generally, there are two commonly used methods of weeding, which are manual weeding and chemical weeding. So, how to carry out the weeding? There are two ways of it, which are manual weeding and chemical weeding. For manual weeding, weeds are removed and collected from crop fields by hand. It also involves slashing, scraping, and uprooting process. For slashing method, it is more suitable to be practiced at wide and non-dense area, full with actively grown grasses and weeds. And for this method, it doesn't involve any sophisticated machinery or equipment. It requires only our hands and simple tools such as hand weeder, hand fork, trowel, chisel, and machete. And for the chemical weeding, it is a technique that involves the application of chemical, which is herbicide, to weeds or soil in order to control the growth of the weed species. Herbicides or weed killer are a type of chemical that are toxic to plants, and it is used to destroy the unwanted vegetative. For this method, it is a widely used method nowadays because it is convenient and it is time effective. And among the equipment that are commonly used are palm sprayer, backpack sprayer, and fumigator. Okay, next, let's look at the benefits of weeding. So first of all, it will help to keep out the pests, insects, and pathogens and whatsoever disease out of the plantation area. And then it also will ensure that the oil palm gets enough nutrients and other necessities, such as water, space, and sunlight, since there is no competition between the weeds and our oil palm crops. And then it also will allow the oil palm root to penetrate the soil easily. So for the third practice that I chose is harvesting. Harvesting refers to the process of gathering ripe crops from the field after it reaches its maturity. For oil palm, harvesting is done at least once every 10 days to gain maximum bunch yield. And those bunches are harvested at the right time and ripeness in the right way in order to avoid the damage of the oil palm bunches. So generally, there are two methods of harvesting the oil palm, which are manual harvesting and mechanical harvesting. So there are two ways to carry out the harvesting, which are manual harvesting and mechanical harvesting. For manual harvesting, it requires much time, energy, and physical effort. Even so, it is less productive method. It requires many labor and involves equipment such as sickle and scythe, chisel, and machete. For the chisel and sickle, They are widely used as cutting tools in oil palm plantation of our country. It is because they are effective and affordable. They are also used at very high speed to gain enough momentum needed to cut the oil palm bunches. And for the mechanical harvesting, it involves the help of machines and machinery in order to harvest those oil palm yield. It is a productive and efficient way of harvesting because it saves a lot of time and effort, but it is slightly costly compared to the manual method. And among the machines or machinery that are commonly used are harvesting platform, motorized cutter or chantas, which are developed by the MPOB, e-cutter, hydraulic harvester, and collector machine. So let's look at the benefits of harvesting. First of all, it will obtain good grades of oil palm bunches with high oil content. Then it also will prevent the oil palm fruit from rotting on the tree, which can cause disease or pest. Then it also will ensure that the oil palm tree grow and develop well according to its nature. So I think that is a little bit about basic good agricultural or agronomic practices of oil palm. So I think that's all from me. Thank you and Assalamualaikum.